So welcome back to the video guys in VLAN part 3 over here. So in the previous videos we saw how to configure access and trunk ports, how to do inter-VLAN routing. So in this video we are going to cover more depth about inter-VLAN routing. So before that I missed some concepts about native VLAN and 802.1q over here. So what is native VLAN? So as we saw in the previous video that after entering the show VLAN brief, we can see that default VLAN is over there and then the VLAN number 1. So nothing but this is nothing but VLAN 1 is called the default native VLAN. So in this native VLAN all the traffic is being untagged, so frames are sent without VLAN tags over there, and then this is looked as per the security perspective. VLAN 1 is often targeted in attack, so best practice is to change the native VLAN to another unused VLAN. So keep this in one mind. And 80.1q is nothing but like it is a standard for tagging the traffic of the VLAN from multiple VLANs. So like it is being used since multiple VLANs, so the concept comes about trunk port, so it carries the traffic from the the traffic of multiple VLANs. So just in order to tag the traffic of the multiple VLANs, 802.1q protocol is being used. So yeah, so the normal Ethernet frame looks like this: preamble, SFD, destination MAC address, source MAC address, type or length over there. So Ethernet frame with 80.1q looks like it's like just inserting 802.1q over here in between source MAC address and type or length over here. So that's all you need to know over here. So inter-VLAN routing, so it is done with like two methods, like using router on a stick and then SVI, like switch virtual interface, using internal VLAN routing using layer 3 switch. So let's see in deep how inter-VLAN routing takes place. So first method, router on a stick. So here we have a router, layer 2 switch, and then access ports configured to the end host over here. So and then this is access port, this is trunk port. This is nothing but a one interface, but the VLAN interfaces are like the sub interfaces, so keep that in mind. So single interface has been sub interfaces over there. So you go to global config mode and then enter interface G0 0.10. okay, got it. So .10 is nothing but the sub interface, and then you just for like tagging VLAN traffic you just need to do encapsulate.10. So for first we'll go for VLAN 10 so 10, and then allocate the IP address of the VLAN over there for that interface. So similarly do for like 20, like VLAN 20 over there, and then allocate the IP address for the interface over there. And then on the switch to just configure this port as a like trunk port, since it should carry the multiple VLAN traffic over there. So this is nothing but like router on a stick, so using one interface as a stick to carry VLAN traffic within the sub interfaces. So what is SVI VLAN routing? So it is nothing but using a layer 3 switch over there. So layer 3 switch is nothing but the combination of router plus switch over there. So the step is very simple over here. So you just need to create VLAN, name the VLAN over there, and then just go on interface VLAN 10 and then configure the IP address over there, and then do no shutdown to enable the port over there. So don't worry how the steps over here. I'll just tell you how to configure the VLANs over here. So let's go into Cisco Packet Tracer over here. So I have taken the same example as of in part 2 over here. I just have added a router over here at G000 interface of router 1 over here, and then to the switch I have connected to G01. So let's go on the router over here. Let's go to CLI, no, and then enable, go to configuration, terminal. My right thumb rule is like I just name the router as router 1 over here. And now, so since we can see in VLAN 10 we have 10.0.0.0/24 network over here, but for VLAN 20 we have 10.0.10.0/24 network. So depending on like the VLANs, I'll just configure over here. So let's take the first sub interface G00.10. Since like 3 zeros are there, so I have taken like 3 zeros.1 sub interface, and then you need to do encapsulate tag the traffic dot 1 queue with and then with VLAN number 10, and then I will allocate the IP address of the VLAN over here. So 10.0.0. So over here we can see dot 1 I'm using, and then /24 subnet mask. So and then no shut, and then I'll go to interface G000.20 sub interface 20, and then I'll just encapsulate the traffic with dot 1 queue for VLAN 20, and then IP address 190 10 IP address will be 10.10.10.1/24 255. My bad, I will do 10.1 and then okay, and then I'll go out, and then I'll select interface G000 and then do no shut just to enable the port over there. And as soon as I did, the interface went up okay over there, and then just see let's go on the router over here and then configure interface G01. Go to global config mode, enable, and then interface G0/1 over there, and then which is nothing but this port over here. So interface this thing, so configure it as switch port mode. So since it need to carry multiple VLAN traffic, so mode trunk, and then as soon as you can see like the line protocol for dot 1 went up down to up over there. So and then switch port trunk allowed VLAN, so we need to allow the VLAN of 10 and 20. So I'll allow 10 and 20, and then I'll do no shutdown, but there is no need to do no shutdown command on switch as all the ports are on by default, whereas on router we need to do. So like now you can see the links going up. So now rather than the traffic traveling from like this to here over here, so it will just packet will go from PC0. Let's say PC0 needs to ping PC5, the packet will go from PC0 switch 1 router 1, come again to switch 1, go from here and then over here. So let's see if we are able to ping from the same subnet, same VLAN. It will definitely ping with the same people over here in the same subnet, and then I'll just ping. You can see you can ping over there, but we weren't able to ping the people from another subnet. So let's see if we are able to do that. So I'll just ping laptop 0 from VLAN 20, so 10.8 over here, and then you can see over here it's giving a problem. Request timeout, request timeout, request timeout, request timeout. Correct. So what's the problem over here? What's the problem? We haven't configured the default interface like the routers like default ID on the PCs. So we need to configure the default interface, the IPs which we have given on the sub interface on the each PCs over there. So keep that in mind. Just don't forget to put the default interface, or else the router will not understand, the PC will understand where to direct the traffic out on the network. So just put dot 1 over here. So for VLAN 1 10.0.0.1 over here, and similarly do to all the PCs on the VLAN 10 the same gateway. Got it? So I'll just paste over here, and then oops, settings, default gateway, this thing. And then for PC VLAN 20 guys, it will be 10.10.10.1 over here, and then this will be the default gateway for VLAN 20 over here for the PCs. So just configure that on this. Why am I entering over here? Paste, go to PC for IP configurations, default gateway, and then the laptop over here. So in this way we have entered the default interface, and let's see if we are able to ping. So the ping before failed, but now let's see if it is able to ping. I think the R process. Did you see the result over here? As soon as we configured the default interface on the router on the PC, it is able to ping the PCs from different VLAN. So let's see a simulation mode too. So let's go to PC over here, and then ping 10.10.8 from PC 0. So let's see, the packet goes to the switch, it goes to the router, again comes to the switch, goes to the trunk port of in between to the switch 2, goes to the laptop, pings it, reach it, again the packet travel back to the switch, router, again it comes to the switch, and again it pings to the PC over there. So in this way the simulation, or like inter-VLAN routing, like in the PCs can communicate in real, like in between, like inter-VLAN routing. So this is like the first method, creating sub interfaces on the router over here using router stick. And the second method which we are going to see, it's using SVI, that is nothing but SVI using layer 3 switch. Okay, so layer 3 switch over here. So the process is pretty easy over here for layer 3 switch. So I have taken layer 3 switch over here and then connected them to the PCs over here, and then let's just configure them as access ports on the switch, and then let's just put in the IPs for them. I forgot to label them the IPs. So 10.0.10.2 okay, so this belongs to VLAN 10. So let's do a subnet of 24 over here, and then default gateway will just configure on later on after configuring the VLANs on the switch over there. So let's put 10.0.20.2 and then /24 subnet, and for PC9 over here go to desktop IP configuration and then put in the IP 10.0.30.2 /255.255.255.0 over here, and then let's go on interface switch over here. I'll do no, and then enable configure terminal host name L3 switch over here. So basically what were the rules? Like, let's just configure VLANs, name it as per your requirement. So VLAN 10, so go to create VLAN 20, name it VLAN 20, create VLAN 30, name it VLAN 30. Oh my bad, there is no space needed. Okay, so we have successfully created VLAN. So do show VLAN brief. So we have created 10, 20, 30, but we haven't configured the ports for the VLAN, so we need to designate them in each. So let's interface F01 over here belongs connected to PC7. Let's configure them as switch port mode access, since they are connected to end host, and then switch port access VLAN, so it should allow VLAN 10 traffic, correct? So similarly, go to interface F02 switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. Similarly, go to interface F03 switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20, correct? Sorry, no, I need to do 30, so I'll just paste it, and then switch port access VLAN 30. So let's just configure into let's just see into running config 30. Third is being designated as switch port mode access. Okay, so next step is nothing but you have configured the access ports. Now you need to assign the VLAN an IP address. Okay, so just do interface VLAN 10. Okay, as soon as you do, the VLAN interface goes up, and then just allocate an IP address to it, just simple as like that. So let's just configure 10.10. so it's in 10.10.10.1, so 255.255.255.0, correct? And then no shut. So let's go to interface VLAN 20 over here, and then do an IP address of that sub VLAN over here. So it is .20, so I'll just put .1. So 10.0.20.1. so it should have communicate with it, and then no shut, exit, go to interface VLAN 30. So you just need to do interface VLAN, okay, and then configure IP address just for the L3 switch. So I'll do 10.0.30.1/24, and then no shut. Okay, and then do show VLAN brief. Oh, VLAN, not VLAN brief. So you can see the ports are being designated for this, and then do show VLAN do show interface trunk, whether there are any trunk ports. There are no trunk ports. Okay, so now as you have configured the VLANs with an IP address, you need to configure a default gateway to the router over here. So it don't know, just put in the VLAN IP over here with the interface as a default gateway. So I'll just configure for all of them. I'll just go here, it's like 20.1 for this, and then for here it's like 30.1. so select, paste 30.1. I hope this is clear, and now let's check if we are able to ping from 10 to 28 or 10 to 30 over here. So let's go to command prompt of the PC, and then I'll just ping 10.0.20.2 over here, and then it goes to the layer 3 switch, and then maybe the R process takes time. 20.2 request timeout, and then no shutdown, why isn't it able to ping like 10.2 or 20.2 over here? So that's the problem. So the main problem why it is not able to do, we forgot to configure a command on layer 3 switch. It's nothing but go to global config mode and put in IP routing. Unless and until you do IP routing, it's not going to enable its layer 3 features, correct? So after I enter IP routing and then I'll do the same command over here, you can see now it will soon do IP routing over here. You see, it started to get the replies over here. So let's ping for VLAN 30 over there. First will fail due to the R process, then reply. So in this way, like layer 3 switch, just create the VLANs, name it, put the access ports over here, and then configure the interfaces of the VLAN, assign them an IP, and then last step, very most important step, enable the command IP routing. That's all. So in this way we have studied how to do inter-VLAN routing using layer 3 switch and then router on a stick. So that